All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is July 23rd, 2026, 7:40 a.m. Just heading to work. I got about, I think it's like a 45-minute drive. I like to get there a little early. I have to stop and get gas because my gas hand doesn't work on my car. But I got a decent drive, and I usually keep my podcast around 30 minutes. Yesterday, I actually went a little longer. It was almost 40 minutes. And I still could have kept talking. But I had to go to work. Plus, not trying to be rude, but people's attention spans are very short. I don't think people understand like the whole talk radio podcast concept. Not a lot of people, not the older people get it, but the younger people don't really get it. This is obviously going to be a drive cast, so yeah, just the next generation, like Gen Z and hell, even some of the younger millennials just don't really get the whole podcast thing. Long form talking content, you know. Gen Alpha, Gen Z. Oh, there's a little black kitty, look just like mine. So, just a little update. Tuesday, I put out a review yesterday on Obsession, the movie review. Go check it out. It is full of spoilers. Oh, shit. So, just a little heads up. Tuesday, we had a shit ton of rain. So, we were on the job site, and everyone was packing up and leaving. We were one of the last ones to leave. Ain't gonna lie, I was a little jealous. I'm like, come on, man, let us go home early, you know? We were on the job site, and they were having tornado warnings. They already said, like, one guy was already saying that storm chasers were moving into Harrodsburg already, just getting ready to chase storms, you know. And driving home, dude, like, I hydroplaned probably like 3 times because I'm not used to driving this car in that weather. So, if anything, it was good experimentation and practice of driving this newer car, this new Nissan that I got, in that type of weather. Oh, speak of the devil, I need to put water in this thing. I'll try to remember to do that sometime today. So, we live in a little dinky trailer, and that's not me bashing it, you know, like, I'm thankful that I have a home to lay my head at night, you know. I always try to count my blessings and be grateful. But it's an old trailer. I think she said it's like either from the 50s or the 70s. I know that's quite a wide range of years, but our roof, apparently, the sealant is bad on it. And my wife sends me 2 pictures. Our roof, our ceiling in the laundry room started to cave in, and now it's molding within a day. Which, that back room is an old built-on room, and it was built by my mother-in-law's dad. So, like, I guess my grandpa-in-law, is that a thing? It rhymes. So, it was built by him, and I'm not bashing, like, his building and stuff, but, like, it wasn't built by, like, a professional company or something. And it is old as fuck. And it is a trailer. So, the sealant from the trailer that's attached to the back room that was built onto it is leaking. So, when I went to work, that's when Sammy discovered it, because she was just cleaning up around the house. And by the way, it's really dark back there. It's really humid. So it's the perfect place for mold to grow. It's warm. It's like hotter than the rest of the house. So Sammy sends me that picture, and then I guess she texts me later and said, hey man, talk to Randy next door, because this guy Randy, he owns his own construction company. His son owns his own construction company, and they work together. She's like, when you get off work, you know, have him come over and check it out. So he came over and checked it out, and basically it needs cleaned off. There's limbs all over it. I'm gonna have to trim up this tree that's right next to our room, because it may have damaged it. There is a pipe up there that looked like it got cracked, and it needs a cap on it. So he said, I'll give you a quote. I'll get with you this weekend, and I'll go up there and I'll fix it, you know. I could probably do it myself, but I am by no means a professional. I've helped my father work on our trailer roof when I was a kid, and we had to go up there like after every time it rained, because he wasn't patching it good enough. I'm not even sure if he was using trailer sealant. I think he was using like tar, which is like completely different. But I could probably do it. If he quotes too high of a price, I'll probably just go up there and try to figure it out, you know. But once I get the leak fixed on the roof, I'm gonna trim up the side limbs. I still need to get that mulcher. I've been wanting to get a mulcher for all the limbs, so that way I can at least make mulch. So we have a little walkway out front. And then I gotta go inside, and like I said, I'll show you the picture. I'll either make it the thumbnail, or what I'll do is I'll just make like a short video and put it out on the channel, so that way you guys can check it out and look at it. That just because I don't want people thinking I'm lying or grifting over here. Because I am going to plug my Buy Me a Coffee. If you want to donate to the channel, it helps me pay for, well, my roof and my ceiling now. It's in the link below. I will send you a signed bookmark. Unless you don't want it signed, then I won't sign it. Some people like it pristine, which I get it. You know, there's collectors out there. The only reason I sign it is you never know. One day I might be famous like Sam Tripoli or something. Might be worth something. But yeah, so now like once I get the roof fixed, whether I do it or him, because my mother-in-law did say she wanted to have him do some work for her, like a couple things, but he never got back to her, I guess. And my mother-in-law just never reminded him. My wife did say that she never reminded him, so it's kind of like, well, you got to remind him if you want the job done. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hopefully, I'll hear from him this weekend. He said he's got a meeting today, so I won't hear from him today, but I should hear from him hopefully tomorrow or Saturday. But yeah, once I get the leak fixed, I got to go in and cut all this junk out, man. I gotta cut at least like 6 or 7 feet worth of ceiling collapse and mold. So that's my beautiful update this morning. Let me pump some gas and then we'll get into some conspiracy stuff. All right, let's get this show on the road. Got some gas, got my snacks. I get like little cheese and peanut butter crackers, because I'm not super hungry in the mornings. I usually like a couple cups of coffee and then I'll eat once I get super hungry. But where I work construction, I don't like to be too hungry on the job site. That's not very safe, you know. We get like 80, 90 degree weather and shit. But yeah, like I guess one more thing about I always get this weird feeling, man. They call it the Irish curse. When things are going too good, there's always something hiding behind the corner. As far as luck-wise, bad luck, karma, whatever. And I get nervous. So anytime I start going to the movies on Tuesdays, which, by the way, that doesn't cost that much money. Like I said, it's half-price tickets. I have a bucket of popcorn, so it's technically... I even get my popcorn cheap, you know, because I buy the bucket once a year. But this happened last time. Me and Sammy, we went and seen 2 or 3 movies on Tuesdays. And I was like already thinking in my head, life is too good, man. Every Tuesday getting to go to the movies. I'm making money. And the Cadillac fucking died, man. It's the Irish curse, man. And it was a transmission. They needed $8,000 to fix it. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to buy a new car. And I ended up with this one for $3,500. So, knock on wood. Hopefully this one holds up. But yeah, dude, I started going to the movies again. And I seen 2 movies. I seen Obsession. We did a review on it. By the way, I'll try to link any related episodes down below in Spotify. I also have a Conspiracy Cinema playlist, if you want to check out any of the movie reviews I've done. So I watched Obsession, and then I seen the new Evil Dead Burn, did a review on that. So I knew, man, I was like, dude, life is going too good. My car's holding up. And all the fixes that I need on the car is like a gas hand, a little cable for the hood. Just little small shit, you know. The AC, like little shit like that. I'm like, you know, nothing big. I knew it, man. That I felt it in my bones. I'm like, something's gonna happen, you know. All right, so let's get into conspiracies. So I'm a big believer in the Mandela Effect. It's one of the few conspiracy theories that kind of messed me up when I first learned about it, because this was back when me and Sammy were dating. We hadn't even been married yet, but we were living together. And hell, it might have even been before she moved in. That's how long ago it was. And me and her have been together for 10 years this year. This December will be our 10-year anniversary for marriage. We were together for a year and then we got married. So honestly, just a real quick note though, that's not bad, dude. Like, being together for a year, most people would say you're rushing it, but like, nah, dude, this is my longest marriage. My ex-wife, I was with her 6 years. I've been with Sammy 10 years. Next year will be 11. So it messed me up, man. There was like a couple conspiracy theories that really messed me up. One was Mandela Effect. 2 was Cinomix, which we'll have to do a whole episode on Cinomix. It's pretty disgusting. It's literally cannibalism in our food supply. Soylent Green is people. It's a flavor. It's a artificial flavor, or natural flavor, I should say, because technically it is natural. It's pretty gross shit. Yeah, we'll have to do an episode on that. But yeah, man, so I believe the Mandela Effect, you know, and a lot of I believe there are a couple, like a handful, that I'm like, no, that's not how it was. So there's 2 Mandela Effects that recently happened. One was this Willy Wonka one. So I want to talk about it for a minute. I remember as a kid, it being, like, when I was super little, I remember it being a chocolate bar. But then when I got a little bit older, because, by the way, Willy Wonka was one of my mom's favorite movies. Like, when I was little, and some of these movies I probably shouldn't have been watching, but when I was little, I never went to pre-K. My mom taught me how to tie my shoes. She taught me my letters. She taught me numbers. She taught me my colors, my shapes. She just pretty much like taught me all that shit. Because pre-K back then, you didn't have to do pre-K. I'm not sure if it's still like that now, but you had the option to opt out of it. So whenever we weren't learning or running and gunning, my mom loved watching movies. Willy Wonka, we would watch that movie over and over and over again. So, I mean, I've got that movie pretty impacted in my brain. I think, by the way, dude, she used to cry every time that movie at the very end, and I'd be like, "Are you okay, Mom?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "These are happy tears." And I'm like, "Happy tears?" Because I'm a little kid. I'm like, people cry when they're happy? That's weird. You know, I'd never felt happy tears, but she's like, "Yeah, Charlie got everything he wanted. His life was so horrible, and now it's perfect." But it's just funny. So, that movie, like, it's very impacted into my brain. The older I got, I kind of remember. So, okay, Charlie's all excited about the whole golden ticket thing going on all over the world, and he really wants a golden ticket. And I'm pretty sure it's like his birthday or something. And that or his family they all pulled their money together because they wanted to at least give him a chance, you know, in the lottery to get the golden ticket. So they bought him, in the movie, a moon pie. And this is why I'm going to piss a lot of people off. This is why I don't think it's a Mandela effect. If I remember correctly, because I think my mom even said, "Yeah, see, they didn't get him a chocolate bar, they got him a moon pie. There's no golden tickets in the moon pie." And I went, "Oh, well, you know, why didn't they get him a chocolate bar?" And I think she explained it as like, well, you know, like, do you know how, like, you get gifts from older family members and then they don't really know what to get you? Sometimes they get you, like, little kid stuff. Sometimes they forget your age. They were all older people. It was like his grandpa and his, like, great aunt and uncle. They literally stayed in bed all day and never left bed. It was really weird and dark, but I mean, it is written by Roald Dahl, who, it's either Raoul or Raoul. Roald Dahl, though, he wrote a lot of creepy shit. So he wrote Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, he wrote James and the Giant Peach, Matilda, so basically, like, kind of Tim Burton style shit. And he was a real strange dude. The reason why he was so weird and creepy with his writing style was he had a head injury. He was a part of the Royal Air Force, the RAF, England. And I think he served in World War II, if I'm correct. So, for one, he was in war, and he's seen fucked up shit, and I'm sure he was bombing shit and having plane fights with people, dog fights. So he wrecked his plane and had a bad head injury, and from then on, his whole personality changed, which we've seen that happen with serial killers. We've seen it happen with, I mean, I've had multiple head injuries, and I've got MDD, I've got mental problems, anxiety, depression, and I know my head injuries, the multiple head injuries I've had, have definitely caused some of that. So, anyways, it was really weird though in the movie. So, like, the great aunt and the great uncle and the grandpa, they all just live in the bed. Hence why they're poor. The only income is Charlie's mom, who's a laundry maid, you know. And The reason I don't think this is a Mandela effect is because they're old and they never get out of the house. So I think that they bought the wrong thing. And I think that was kind of the message of like, because even Charlie said when he opens it up and doesn't see that it's the golden ticket's in there, he goes, oh, it's okay. He said, I bet the golden ticket probably makes the chocolate taste bad too. And that right there was the whole point. I think it was kind of showing like, hey, this is how sweet Charlie is. He's like looking at the brighter side of life of hey, the golden ticket would make the chocolate taste bad, you know? That, and he's like, it's okay, you know, you guys are older. I get it. You didn't know which one to buy. And so here's another thing with this newer Mandela effect. People are remembering correctly that he does get the golden ticket from a chocolate bar. But people are only seeing the moon pie scene. This is, by the way, TikTok sucks. I'm sorry, man. It's useful every now and then as a podcaster, because I get like good little scoops and good little ideas to talk about. But at the same time, dude, TikTok fucking blows because you got all these like new school conspiracy theorists, these newer ones who just woke up within the past 5 years or whatever. And I remember when I first woke up, I got super excited back in like 2012 when I first woke up, truly. I was super excited. I was believing in reptilians. Any conspiracy video I watched, I just automatically believed it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it because there is like an excitement when you first wake up and you want to save the world and all that shit. By the way, I'm not trying to be rude, but y'all should have been awake, you know, like years ago. It might be a little too late to be awake now. So, not trying to be rude, just kind of saying. So, got a fucking cop behind me. He finds the chocolate bar later. And that's another thing too, like with the TikTok videos, because I have a podcast, I have longer form content. I'm not restricted to, you know, a 3-minute video on something. I can literally talk about something for an hour if I want. If I want to talk for 2 hours, I can. I'm not restricted. So they don't show the second part of these TikToks that it's like, dude, watch the movie. You know, I know it's an older movie and a lot of us haven't seen it since we were kids, but you can pick up a DVD or VHS of it, you know. We have the internet. We can order anything at the click of our fingers. He finds the chocolate bar later. It's sitting in a grill, and then he pulls the chocolate bar out. He crams his little hand in there because he's a little kid. He pulls the chocolate bar out and opens that one. That's where he finds the golden ticket. And I think the whole point of why he didn't find the golden ticket at the house is because it wasn't the chocolate bar. It was the moon pie. So, like I said, dude, I'm going to piss a lot of people off, but that's my thoughts on that Mandela effect. Sorry. The older I've gotten within this community, I've become more skeptical. I try to use Occam's razor more. I try to be more of a realist. It just is what it is. Yes, at the end of the day, I'm still going to be a conspiracy theorist till the day I die. But, sorry, man, I just don't think, you know, I don't think the Willy Wonka one's an actual Mandela. Oh, shit. Fucking yellow light. Let's see where we're at on time. Okay. So let's get into one more Mandela effect that happened here recently, and then I'll finish the episode off. The other newest Mandela effect that I came across is the Chick-fil-A one. So I've seen this happen. This is like one that shifted, and this is one that I believe. This is one that shifted to something new from the original, and then shifted back to the original. So this is fucking crazy. Chick-fil-A, I remember growing up because we had, my dad was a preacher, and after church, we would always go out to eat or something. That and anytime we were running and gunning down in Florida, we had a Chick-fil-A in our town. So I remember Chick-fil-A being spelt like chick, like a baby chick, C-H-I-C-K, and then Phil-A, F-I-L, and then A, so yeah, just an A. Then, when all this Mandela Effect shit started popping off, it shifted to C-H-I-C-F-I-L-A, and I was like, that ain't right, because first of all, that's not how you spell chick. It looks weird. It doesn't even look cool. I mean, that would be like, I would think it'd be like chic filet, you know? Like you're chic or something. I don't know. It didn't look right. I'm like, okay, that's a Mandela effect. Now, guess what? And I think this is what's causing it, is they shut Cern off. So my theory is that where they shut Cern off, we might be shifting back to the old timeline. Now, that being said, Occam's razor, devil's advocate, I do think that some of this is AI related. I do think that because the internet is made by DARPA. I think the internet, yes, we can use it against them, but they can also use it against us. And I think that sometimes they run psychological operations using the internet, and I think the Mandela Effect could possibly be a psychological operation, some of it. Like they just changed the entire history of the internet, and they're like, no, it never was like that. And what they do is overnight, they'll change shit. Like physically change it, the companies. The companies probably work with our military and our intelligence agencies to run these psyops on us. I mean, they probably do, you know? I do want to get a hold of someone. I want to do some on the ground, boots on the ground reporting, because I've noticed 2 flock cameras. So I do want to like film and report on it and tell you guys the location of where they're at, so that way you can be careful. So I want to do a boots on the ground reporting with that. And there's also I do want to do some boots on the ground reporting of Chick-fil-A. I want to actually go to my local Chick-fil-A, there's 2 of them, and see if it's spelled C-H-I-C-K or if it's spelled C-H-I-C. And I would love to talk to management and see if like, hey, did you guys change your signage? You know, did Chick-fil-A change the spelling of the company? Did they get bought out? Like, what's the deal? You know? So, I don't know. We'll see. So, let me see what time it is. Can't see. 28. Okay, I guess we'll wrap it up here. This is about a 30-minute episode, so that's good. I just wanted to discuss those 3 things, just kind of give you an update on my life of like the fucked up shit that's going on. That's why, honestly, dude, I tell people, man, I'm not a grifter. I work a 40-hour job, a hard job, you know, construction. My wife works. But hey, man, like I'm putting out free content. None of my stuff is behind paywalls. And Buy Me a Coffee is basically like a tip. So if you want to help me out with my ceiling and my roof, that would be cool. It'll help pay for supplies if I have to do it, or it'll help pay for, you know, people to come fix it. So hook me up if you like my content. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, I put out a poll every episode. So answer the questions on the polls. It helps me move up the algorithm. If you're on YouTube, give me a hype. There's a hype section option down below, so that helps the channel. I like to save my hypes for smaller content creators, because honestly, dude, the big ones, they don't need help with the algorithm. They really don't. That's just my personal opinion. There's a lot of small content creators who I like, who are shadow banned and struggling with stuff. I like to use it for them. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we're going to wrap it up there. I'm going to head to work. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Y'all have a good day.